Hi, welcome back to Tin Hat Connections. I'm your host, Maya Rose. Today's episode is about Atlantis. It'll probably be a longer episode. First, we'll look at the origins of Atlantis. If you go by most scholars today, the story of Atlantis was written by Plato, who was told the story of a story about a beautiful island with an intelligent and advanced civilization that had conquered quite a bit of surrounding countries with their incredible army. But they got too greedy and Poseidon decided to end them, causing volcanic eruptions as well as tidal waves that completely sank the island in one day and night, taking its entire kingdom and wonders with it. The story was never really finished, and we don't have too many solid details. At face value, it seems to be a parable about the dangers of too much progression. The story was passed down several generations before it reached Plato, so many details may have changed. It is believed that a pharaoh told it first. Some believe that Plato stopped writing the story when he realized that he was actually talking about the city of Troy. The two stories do have similar things, however, details and land descriptions are very different. Eventually, Troy was found, after thousands of years believed to be just a tale, and for decades people have been looking for Atlantis. Strange pieces have been found all over the world that don't seem to fit with surrounding cultures. It's hard to find a civilization that may have never existed, even harder when you realize the discrepancies in the Egyptian and Roman and Greek calendars at the time, so pinpointing an accurate period of time is difficult to say the least. Edgar Cayce, also known as the Sleeping Prophet, told of the finding of Atlantis in the far future. I can't remember the date he said, and of course I can't find it, but it did match the year that a pilot flying over Bimini observed what he described as a long road under the water in the place that Cayce said it would be found. For many years growing up, I believed that Bimini was in fact a part of Atlantis, until I really started researching the story and locations. It has been said to be in many, many places. The most likely for a while was Crete, an island in Greece. However, nearly at the same time, a diver in Japan came across what he described as the Japanese Atlantis. A number of structures and temples that appeared to be man-made, complete with animal and human carvings. Even this is both in the wrong place and don't match much original descriptions. However, I feel like these structures, as well as all the other strange cities and roads and artifacts unearthed, should be studied. There is evidence to suggest that human civilization and buildings are much older than previously suspected. There is a theory I will get into in another video about the Earth going through cycles of birth, advancement, destruction, and rebirth. Yet, by far, the most interesting and possibly closest place is what's known as the Eye of the Sahara. To be totally honest, I hadn't heard about this structure until only recently, which makes me sad because I love geology and it's amazing. Independent research has been done on the structure, and not only does it match Plato's description in structure, but in place and makes a lot more sense. Supposedly unknown artifacts have been found in and around it. I recently watched a very interesting video set about it, so I thought I'd add it here. A link to them will be in the description below. I do personally believe Atlantis was a real place. When you pull away from all the magic of the gods and modern tech that would have been totally out of place at the time, and start to look at the details of the story and places it describes, it becomes more plausible, and I have hope that someday we'll find it. Shameless book plug. I'm working on a gay romance fantasy based around the Prince of Atlantis and his many recurring lives thereafter. You can find a snippet video I did a while ago for the first very short part here on my channel. It's been over a year since I touched it, but I'm slowly working it together, and hopefully the first book will be released in the coming months. In closing, I would like to say how fascinating Atlantis is to me. The magic that has been built up around it is amazing, and I can easily imagine myself living there. I'd like to think that it was an advanced people who, after the destruction of their home, went out into all parts of the world to shape the cultures we know today. Interestingly, there is an Egyptian mummy that supposedly tested positive for cocaine. Obviously, more likely the leaves, as I don't think they had the powder then. But weed is apparently super old, so... which I might get into in another video as well. If it's true, then it suggests that Egyptians traveled to what is now South America thousands of years before we thought sea travel was started. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up and a comment below. I'm always interested in hearing from you. Even if you didn't, don't be afraid to thumb down and leave a comment. Thanks for watching!